Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Stefan playing Stellaris, and today we're going to continue on with episode 18 of our series of Fanatic Purifiers on the Grand Admiral difficulty. So let's begin. So last episode we were able to finish off the war with the Calderon Republic and the Brenthal Alliance, and in the end they are almost destroyed. The fact that they are in a federation with each other means that none of the other empires will be able to join in the conflict. I mean, unless they're feeling ballsy and decide to just come at me. And so for now, we should be pretty damn safe. There are a couple spots that I do want to clean up, particularly this alien menace over here, which just so happens to be a scrapper, and this thing over here, which just so happens to be a dimensional horror. So this episode, we're gonna hopefully clean those guys up, and then start invading the Prime Corps and the Calexian and Lighting Kingdom Federation. That way, they're not gonna be a threat any longer. And then we can focus our efforts on taking out the Guardians. Right now though, we have a hell of a lot of debris going around, and before we did not have the leaders to make it work. However, now we do. So what we're also able to do is we can start actually getting some of these gateways up and running as well. And after a bit of looking, I have found the second gateway. For whatever reason, the gateway construction site is not displayed as an icon, and so I pretty much had to go from memory. Hopefully that'll get fixed in a later update, but that was quite annoying. We can also withdraw some materials out of our stockpile. I should have done that while the war was going on, but we can spare 75 influence. This way we can also upgrade the Dyson Sphere. Okay, now comes the hard part. We have to choose who to dismiss. All my admirals are max level, and all of them have pretty good skills. So I think I'll start by dismissing some of the 2-skill admirals. And I can also probably dismiss one of the generals. Now we have 4 slots to recruit more scientists. Awesome. And now we can also research the X1 labs and check that out. If their super weapon was indeed a particle beam, we kind of went past that already, but if they can give us something else, that would be fine. Now of course we can split up our fleets and let them go their own ways. But instead, I'm just going to order them to go over to Rathador and Zerg the Dimensional Horror. Awesome, now our species is superior. Now, for whatever reason, we have a couple subspecies, and we're going to have to modify that. It's only going to take 10 months. I guess that's because some of our worlds were conquered, and now we can. And now that we've taken them back, we have different pops. We also have extra cruiser hit points. Awesome. Now I suppose I'll go for a couple low-cost techs, and hopefully get my unity up. Oh, awesome. Looks like the One Krog Unity declared war on the Democratic Zerrin Accord. So I suppose that war bit them in the ass. Well, that's all fine and dandy though. I don't really care what happens here. I'll take that back anyway. All this territory belongs to me. And we have also completed autocannons. Awesome. Now we can go for uranic crystals. Something that we do have, and something that will benefit us quite a bit.
Species modified.
Awesome. The Abyssal Stratum is now 1. And now the Abyssal Stratum superiority thing is also very happy. And we're getting our influence once more. So what that also means is that we can send one of our scientists to go ahead and research that one project. Also looks like all my scientists got erudite. Awesome, so that's a nice 5% bonus to research speed. Of course, Sobak is excluded, he's just a human. Now we've also gotten the crystal mining, and we can go for... And so now I guess we can just start exploiting whatever strategic resources we can find. We have also secured the technology of energy, and now we can go for Spiral Feed Power Hub. And as for traditions, we now can go for extra shipyard and building build speed. Then we can go for Fleet Logistics Corps and hopefully reduce the absolutely massive upkeep that we have.
Special project complete.
Holy shit. That is awesome. Invisible Death. Our scientists have returned from the Ekfel labs unscathed with footage collected from the facility's security cameras. It shows lab scientists bound and gagged as guerrilla soldiers pry open the weapons strongbox, but to their dismay, the box is empty. Only minutes later, the rebels can be seen writhing to the floor in intense agony, dog patches swelling across their bodies. Then their skin rips and a gray unidentifiable matter spills out. The matter continues to expand, swirling hypnotically around them, until one of the scientists activates the emergency system. Its Sprinklers douse the room in liquid, and the electrical surge passes through it, executing all living things. Here the footage ends. Our crew can confirm that the strongbox was indeed empty. Well, I hope we get something special from it, because that can't be just all, right? We have received Adler polishing, and now we can go for some kinetic batteries. Oh no, a rivalry. How awful. They want to end this trade, eh? And so we can respond to that with, why do you cover yourselves in strange tactiles? Are you hiding something, or are you simply ashamed of your unfortunate appearance? Yes, frog. I love how the modifier in threat is almost as huge as the modifier from fanatic purifiers. And I guess that's applied to virtually everyone in the galaxy. So I guess we might as well be an endgame threat that has persisted throughout the whole game. Well, there's also supposed to be a chance of an endgame threat in the L-Gate as well, and hopefully there'll be something interesting. There is a chance that there's going to be nothing on the L-Gate, but I really hope that's not the case. Hopefully it's the absolute worst scenario possible. And now that my ship got here, we can study the messenger and its message. Alrighty, the messenger. Possibilities. We established that the escape pod was the kind of commercially available knockoff common in the previous phase of the galactic civilization. No new technologies or other insights. The remains of the messenger, however, are another matter. It's unmistakably an ancient or a variant of the abyssal species. Perhaps we have cousins out there, or perhaps we were subject to genetic manipulation by a precursor race. Sobek is requesting permission to conduct more extensive research. I really don't know why Sobek is the one requesting research, but alright. Let us study the messenger connection. And it seems that we have a more rugged and aggressive form. That means that we're probably going to get the strong trait rather than the intelligent trait, which is a bit of a shame. Yep, the messenger leashed. Sobek has reconstructed the messenger. It's quite impressive, worryingly so. It seems to be considerably more robust and aggressive than our current edition. There is some confusion to whether we're the source species and the messenger the modified version, or whether the messenger was our ancestor. Sobek is firmly of the former opinion. We were once much more of a warrior species, and that some meddling of precursor muzzled us genetically. Indeed, they consider the loss of our martial abilities a tragedy. Such a tragedy that they have undergone a retroviral treatment to alter their own psychology to that of the messengers. They insist that this will equip them much better to continue this project. Damn, Sobek is now a horse. Yeah, let's get on with this. Alrighty, so it looks like all of our fleets are gathered up at the Rathador system. And now we can go ahead and assault the Eternal Horizon.
Attacking enemy vessels.
This is gonna be a bloodbath. Specifically for the dimensional horror. We have so many ships. Pretty crazy. We lost a single cruiser in this battle. And now what we can do is we can jump over to the Eternal Horizon and survey this anomaly. Yep, it is banished. The malignant entity which attempted to breach our universe near the Eternal Horizon has been banished back into its own realm. Only time will tell if its influence has been sufficiently weakened to keep it there for good. We are detecting some kind of anomalous residual energy that must have been left behind by the dimensional rifts the creature opened. Studying this energy more closely could potentially lead to scientific breakthroughs. Researching the unusual energy readings should grant us the jump drives, and that'll be extremely useful on transport fleets. That does reduce combat potential for normal ships though, so I think I'll hold off using that for my regular fleets. However, transport ships are all fine and dandy. The ships themselves are pretty much rebuilt every time the armies land, and so the debuff applied to them really doesn't play much of a role. We have also researched entropic recursion. Somehow we got lucky enough to get the jump drives on their own. Well, we still have to go for our mega theory to complete the worm, but overall, holy shit. Now it is important that we actually research the project over at Eternal Horizon, because otherwise some other empire may get it. I remember some time ago I was able to actually steal the unusual energy readings from some other empire, and that was quite fun indeed, because they did all the heavy lifting and I just got the results. It was pretty early on too. They have completely destroyed their fleet, and I was able to conquer them afterwards. Fun times. Alrighty, looks like the night has finally fallen. Sobek has now recreated the genetic heritage of the messenger species. Without stopping to ask anyone's opinion, they have also created a highly contagious retroviral agent. It stalks our worlds. Under its influence, our primary species falls into a chrysalis coma and emerges a day later as a messenger species. This is causing, it is fair to say, some excitement. Obviously, we're not going to control the outbreak. No, no, no. We're going to change. What was shall be. Bring me a sample of this agent. Let's see how our species changes. Oh god, they're all donkeys. Oh my god, that's disgusting. So, for whatever reason, it said that they were more militaristic, but it just gave us the intelligent trait. You know, I'm completely fine with this, honestly. Okay, so we have an Abyssal and Strong Purity front. Okay, it looks like the two other parties have reformed. Now we have our major 99% party as militarists, and the other as just fanatic xenophobes. I don't know why the hell this happened. I mean, our support for militarists isn't really that big. It is very possible that the more aggressive thing means that our species has become more militarist, but the expected value did not change at all, and that's quite strange. But whatever, we're getting our full influence now, and that is all fine and dandy. And now we have also completed the special project that will grant us the jump drive. Our study of the energy anomalies produced by the Eternal Horizon dimensional rifts have finally yielded results. The energies involved in the creation of these portals are unlike any we have ever encountered. Most intriguing of all, our scientists theorize that it may be possible to devise a new method of interstellar travel using these exotic energies. We have 50% progress in jump drives and also 6k research. That's literally a couple months. Not bad. We are also getting the construction of gateways up and running. And now this L-gate system also has a normal gateway. We have also picked up an anomaly in the Eternal Horizon. We'll research that, even though that's going to take quite a long time. Oh no, we have another war going on. Not like it matters. We've also finally researched the kinetic battery. And now we can exploit even more resources. Hopefully we do have some beryllium ore somewhere. Now we have also researched beryllium mining. So let's go for Teldar crystal mining. So many strategic resources. Oh, I almost forgot. We do have the scrapper still. So I'll reform all my fleets that I've let loose. And we will strike at it. We have also researched the Omega alignment. When a temporal paradox becomes tangled, a kind of consciousness arises, with its own needs, its own desires. This is what might have occurred with the consciousness that we call the warm and waiting. We can align ourselves with that consciousness, we might just achieve that kind of immortality. Awesome. So now we can go for those jump drives. Now this is going to increase the chances of us spawning the Unbidden, but that should be worth it. After all, the Unbidden are the biggest endgame challenge that we can get. Yep. We have the Scavenger. Over here. The Ibakroyu system is a sprawling graveyard of mechanical debris. The wreckage of untold numbers of derelict ships circle its star. Swathes of fuel and liquid coolant cloud the sensors like ghosts, and creaking station remnants collide with the shattered carcasses of planets on their path to round the sun. An incredible construct stirs in the heat of the graveyard. It appears to be a gigantic machine, a robotic automaton larger than our greatest battleships, jerry-rigged from the scraps and pieces of 1,000 shipwrecks. The ISS Enigma reports that this scavenging robot sifts through the debris fields with a fixed purpose, scavenging for useful parts to add to its patchwork configuration. It is clear that a battle of astronomical proportions took place here, though whether the scavenger is a sole survivor or a scrap hunter from some distant nation remains unknown. We should exercise caution, as the construct bears heavy artillery from dozens of starships. That's semi-concerning. This thing does look pretty cool though. Now of course the only thing we should do is attack. That is the most reasonable response to this whole situation.
Technology secured.
Oh my god, these guys are insulting us. Your pitiful nation is living on borrowed time. Your nation is barely living at all. Although holy shit. How is your fleet power equivalent? So supposedly this is a little empire with 1, 2, 3, 4 planets. It has a fleet the size of this giant sprawling thing. That's not okay. That's not okay at all. Really, we have the contact report Leviathan. I thought we already met like 3. The Mastrado populace is praying, the giant being encountered in the dark that caused many a denizen of the Empire to fear for their sanity or doubt their faith in the divine. These giants, the guardians of our life that we have created it, or its enemy. Yeah, but moles of dust. Ooh, spooky. We also got Teldar crystals, and now we can get Gargantuan going. Obviously, strategic resources are very good for trade, but we can't really trade because we're Fnatic Purifiers. We don't deal with inferiors. Yep, Garantium mining. And now we can go for some extra Algate insights. This is actually going to take quite a long time. Now we have gathered all of our fleets, about 100k fleet power, over at the Despot system, and we can start assaulting the Scavenger bot. But first, we got a Citadel of Faith, finally. At this point, going for something like reactive formations is really going to help us out. Yep, there go all my fleets. Against the Ancient Scrapper bot. Let's see how many ships we lose. Holy shit, this is going to be a quick battle. The Scavenger's End. The once imposing hulk of the Scavenger has been reduced to a scorched wreck of sparkling machinery and hemorrhaging fuel lines. As our battle with worried combat ships makes their finishing passes at the flag automaton, Scavenger makes one final attempt to engage the hyperdrive. Unfortunately for the robot, the damage inflicted upon its central system appears to have proven too much. Its supposed core glows a blistering blue-white as its engines engage when overload. Luminescence rising with heat and intensity until a series of core breaches fear they construct asunder. The ragged region of the Ebercroy system is no more. Okay, so we got a nanite repair system and some top tier tech. So we have neutronium materials with neutronium armor. We have Marauder missiles, not really useful. And we have a nanite repair system. A highly effective hull auto repair system comprised by billions of microscopic nanomachines was found among the smoking remains of the Scavenger and has been repurposed for our uses. Whether the Scavenger pilfered the system from an ancient derelict or was originally constructed with it remains unknown. But this is quite powerful. I mean, this is basically getting stationed level of good, and we didn't even have to research this. Awesome. Alrighty, we got peddling radiation. The readings picked up in the system come somewhat surprisingly from the Eternal Horizon itself. As the black holes go, it is fairly small, which could account for some of the unexpected radiation leaking from the event horizon. Science officer Serrano Prolesino believes that the black hole is on its way to bleeding out and will eventually disappear entirely, though it is difficult to say whether this process will be complete before the heat death of the universe. Some gravitational upset in the hole's youth has rendered, to quote Stefano Pallavicino, wobbly, further increasing the flow of energy from the event horizon. That's a pretty nice chunk of research we got there. Now we also have some pretty good minerals out of this little system. 22 to be exact. Not bad. Awesome, we have gained extra command limit. And now we might as well get some tile bunkers cleared. We've also got a climate control network. And now we can go for even more command limit. Awesome. Okay, looks like we got a 40k power Federation fleet. Yeah, the Federation fleet was transferred to the Prime Corps, and now they're equivalent to us. You know, I think I'm just going to declare war on them right now. Why the hell not? Prime Corps, you're getting another war, buddy.
We have declared war to safeguard our interests.
So with that should be the end of today's episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed what you saw, subscribe if you want to see more. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.